Before we begin, just a quick moment. Write in the comments which part of this world you're listening from right now and what time it is where you are. I'm curious. Are you listening in the quiet of late night? Or perhaps in the early morning hours when sleep hasn't come yet? Just leave a word or two and then settle in. Because this time right now, is entirely yours. In the vast, quiet theater of the night, when the world outside has hushed its frantic pace, our inner world often becomes louder. It's here, in the stillness, that the day's calculations, the week's worries, the month's anxieties, all come to the surface. It feels as though the mind keeps a special book, a ledger bound in shadow and concern that only opens after the sun has set. On its pages are figures written not in simple ink, but in the glowing phosphor of worry. Columns of what is owed, lines of what is lacking, frantic arithmetic scribbled in the margins trying to make it all add up. This ledger feels heavy, real, and profoundly important. We believe that by studying it, by tracing the numbers again and again, we are somehow staying in control, preparing for the battle of tomorrow. But what if, just for tonight, we could do something radical? What if we could simply close the book? Not to deny its contents, not to pretend the numbers don't exist, but to give the accountant of the mind a rest, to acknowledge that no new solutions will be found on these pages at this hour. The work of calculation is done for the day. Imagine this ledger of the mind lying open before you. See the stark black of the numbers against the pale page. Feel the familiar, exhausting weight of its presence. Now, picture your hand, your real physical hand, reaching out in the soft darkness of your room. Imagine it moving toward the cover of this book. The cover might be worn leather or hard, cold cardboard. It doesn't matter. Feel its texture. And then, with a slow, deliberate, and deeply kind intention, gently close it. Hear the soft thud as the cover meets the pages. A sound of finality just for this moment. A sound that says, enough for tonight. The frantic glow of the numbers is now contained. The endless columns are hidden from view. You have not destroyed the book. You have simply set it aside. You have transformed this space in your mind from a place of accounting into a sanctuary for rest. Notice the quiet that follows. The space that opens up now that the numbers are no longer clamoring for your attention. This is the first step. This mental ledger doesn't just exist in the mind. It has a physical weight, a presence that settles into the body and makes a home in our very cells. Financial fear is a palpable thing. It anchors itself in our tissues, tightening and holding on, bracing for an impact that may never come. So let us begin a gentle journey from the mind into the body, inviting this held tension to release its grip. Start with your jaw. Without judgment, simply bring your awareness to it. Are your teeth clenched? Is there a tightness in the muscles around your mouth and ears? A subtle, grim holding pattern? This is the body's way of biting down on a problem, of trying to hold everything together through sheer force. For a moment, consciously create a tiny space between your upper and lower teeth, just a millimeter of air. As you do, you might feel a subtle shift, a softening that travels up to your temples and down into your neck. Imagine those muscles, which have been working so hard, finally being given permission to stand down. They are letting go of the need to solve, to control, to endure. With each slow exhale, feel the jaw becoming a little softer, a little heavier, releasing a tension you may not have even known you were carrying. It is a profound act of kindness to yourself, this small, simple release. Now let your awareness travel down to your shoulders. Where are they right now? Are they hunched up towards your ears, carrying the invisible weight of responsibility like a heavy cloak? This is where we carry our burdens, where the phrase shouldering responsibility becomes a physical reality. The body braces itself, lifting the shoulders as if to protect the vulnerable neck and heart. But right now, in the safety of this moment, you are protected. You are safe. So let that cloak begin to slide off. On your next exhale, give your shoulders permission to drop. Imagine them melting downwards, away from your ears, spreading wider. Feel the new space that opens up around your neck and across your collarbones. It's a space for breath, a space for ease. The worries of the ledger are no longer sitting squarely on your shoulders. You have set them down, next to the closed book. You are unburdening yourself, not from the reality of your life, but from the physical enactment of its stress. This release is not a denial. It is a vital preparation for true rest. And finally, bring your attention to your center, to your stomach, and your solar plexus. This is often where the cold knot of anxiety resides. It can feel like a tangled bundle of wires, a tight fist, or a churning sea of unease. This is the gut feeling of insecurity, the primal fear of not having enough. It is a deeply vulnerable place. If it feels right, you might gently place a hand on your stomach. Feel the simple, reassuring warmth of your own touch. It is a gesture of comfort, a message to your body that says, I am here. You are not alone in this. Now, breathe into that space. Don't try to force the knot to untangle or the fist to unclench. Simply send your breath there as a warm, gentle offering. Imagine each inhale as a wave of soft, golden light, moving into that tightness, surrounding it with warmth and acceptance. Imagine each exhale as a sigh of release, allowing the tension to soften, even if only by a fraction. We are not fighting the fear. We are simply bringing it warmth. We are holding it with compassion, acknowledging its presence without letting it define this entire moment. By closing the ledger of the mind and softening the armor of the body, we are preparing for a journey. This is the necessary first step in the metamorphosis from anxiety to trust. Not a blind, baseless trust, but a deep and abiding trust in the restorative power of rest. A trust that the mind that awakens from deep sleep is more creative, more resilient, and more capable than the exhausted mind that spins its wheels in the middle of the night. You have done the work for today. You have tallied the numbers, felt the worries, and carried the weight. Now, your only task is to gently set it all down, to allow the body to feel safe, to allow the mind to become still. The ledger is closed, the jaw is soft, the shoulders are released, the stomach is warming. You are ready. You are ready to drift into a different kind of accounting, one where the only thing that matters is the gentle rhythm of your own breath, counting you down to a deep and restorative peace. The answers you seek are not in the frantic calculations of the night. They are waiting for you in the quiet wisdom that is born from true, profound rest. And that rest begins now. Now that the mind is a little quieter and the body has been given permission to soften, something else may become noticeable in the stillness. It is the feeling we have been trying to outrun, the very reason we were so busy with our calculations and our physical tension. It is the energy of fear itself. It has a presence, doesn't it? When all other distractions fall away, it remains. Our usual instinct is to immediately find another distraction, to turn on a light, to pick up a phone, to do anything to avoid sitting with this powerful, uncomfortable energy. But tonight, let's try something different. Let's not turn away from it. Instead, let's treat it not as an enemy to be vanquished, but as a messenger, a powerful force that is simply present in the room with us. Let's give it our gentle, curious attention. Without judgment, let's try to give this fear a shape. If this financial fear were an object or a form in the room with you right now, what would it look like? You don't need to see it with your eyes, but just sense its quality. Perhaps for you, it takes the form of a dense, cold fog, swirling slowly around your feet, making the air feel heavy and thick. Or maybe it's a solid object, a large, dark cube of stone in the corner of the room, silent and immense, radiating a quiet pressure. For some, it might not be a shape, but a sound, a low, persistent hum, just at the edge of hearing, a frequency of unease that vibrates through the floorboards. It could even be a texture, like coarse, heavy wool, or a temperature, a distinct pocket of cold air in an otherwise warm room. There is no right or wrong answer here. Just allow an impression to form. The goal is not to create something frightening, but to simply acknowledge what is already here. By giving it a shape, a color, a texture, we begin a subtle but profound process. We take it from being a formless, all-consuming dread that lives inside of us, and we place it outside of us. It becomes something we can observe. It is in the room with us, but it is not us. We are the consciousness that is aware of the fog. We are the stillness that perceives the heavy cube. We are the quiet observer, and this feeling is simply a phenomenon we are observing. Spend a moment with this shape. Notice its qualities with a detached curiosity, the way a scientist might observe a newly discovered deep-sea creature, full of wonder and respect for its strangeness and its power. You are not afraid of it. You are simply studying it. This is the beginning of changing your relationship with it. Now, let's bring that same gentle curiosity to the body. This energy, this fear, doesn't just stay outside of us. It finds places to live within our physical form. It seeks out tension and makes a home there. So let's gently ask, where does this feeling live in you? Let your awareness drift into your chest, the space around your heart. Is there a sensation here? For many, financial fear manifests as a tightness, a band of pressure constricting the ribs, making it feel difficult to take a full, deep breath. It can feel as though the heart is being held in a vice, unable to beat freely. If you notice this, just observe. Don't try to force a deeper breath. Simply acknowledge the sensation. Here it is, a tightness in the chest. You are just noticing the weather pattern in your inner world. Then, allow your attention to drift lower, into your stomach, your gut. We call it a gut feeling for a reason. This is often the epicenter of our deepest anxieties about survival and security. What do you feel here? Is it that cold knot we spoke of earlier? Perhaps you can sense its texture now. Is it a hard, smooth stone, sitting cold and heavy in the pit of your stomach? Or is it more of a frantic, fluttering sensation, like a cage full of panicked birds? Maybe it's a slow, nauseous churning, an acid feeling of deep unease. Again, the practice is simply to observe with compassionate curiosity. Place your warm hand there again if you wish. Let your breath be soft. You are meeting this sensation with kindness, not resistance. You are saying to your body, I feel this. I am listening to what you are holding. This simple act of listening, of witnessing the physical manifestation of your fear without judgment, is profoundly healing. You are no longer at war with your own body's responses. You are becoming a gentle ally to yourself. And now, we arrive at the heart of this metamorphosis. We have observed the shape of this fear in the room, and we have located its home within our body. The final step for tonight is to give it a name. This might sound simple, but it is an ancient form of magic, understood by storytellers and healers for millennia. To know something's true name is to change its power over you. An unnamed terror that lurks in the shadows has infinite power. It can be anything, everything. It is monstrous precisely because it is undefined. But when we give it a name, we bring it into the light. We give it boundaries. It becomes a specific, known thing. So, let's name it. The name could be simple. This is financial fear. Or you might get more specific. This is the fear of not having enough. This is the fear of losing control. This is the shame of feeling like a failure. Say the name silently to yourself. Acknowledge it. I see you. I know your name. The moment you do this, you create a separation. It is no longer, I am terrified. It becomes, I am a person who is currently experiencing a feeling, and that feeling's name is fear. You are the sky, and the fear is a storm cloud passing through. You are vast, and it is a temporary weather event. This is the first, most crucial step in transforming its power. We have taken the formless dread, given it a shape outside of us, located its physical echo inside of us, and finally, we have given it a name. It is no longer a ghost haunting you from the inside out. It is a known quantity. It is an energy you can be with, observe, and breathe with. You have not destroyed it, but you have fundamentally changed your relationship to it. It has moved from being the puppeteer to being a puppet on the stage, and you are now in the audience, watching with a calm, discerning eye. You have begun to reclaim your own inner space, creating a sanctuary of awareness where even powerful fears can be held with a steady and compassionate gaze. This is the beginning of wisdom. There is a strange and quiet alchemy that happens in the middle of the night. Objects and ideas that seem perfectly ordinary in the daylight begin to transform in the darkness. A shadow in the corner of the room becomes a lurking figure. A creak in the floorboards becomes an intruder. And nowhere is this nocturnal metamorphosis more potent than with numbers. The numbers on a bank statement, the price of a bill, the total on a credit card. By day, they are what they are. Factual, manageable, concrete. But at 2 a.m, bathed in the blue light of a phone screen, or simply glowing in the theater of the mind, these same numbers change. They seem to grow larger, expanding to fill the entire space of your awareness. They develop a sinister pulse, a menacing hum. They are no longer just digits. They become verdicts, judgments on your worth, your competence, your very security in the world. Let's observe this phenomenon with that same gentle curiosity we've been cultivating. Think about how a number like, say, 5,000 feels at 2 p.m. versus 2 a.m. In the afternoon, it's a problem to be solved. A plan can be made, calls can be placed, steps can be taken. The number is grounded in a world of action and possibility. But at night, the world of action is asleep. The banks are closed, The offices are dark, and you are alone with the number. It is unmoored from context and solution, and it begins to float freely, gathering shadows, feeding on the silence and the stillness. It stops being a number and becomes a monster. It whispers of impossible futures, of catastrophic outcomes, of everything that could possibly go wrong. This is not a failure of your mind. It is a pattern, a common trick of a mind that is tired and untethered from the grounding realities of the daytime world. Recognizing this pattern is the first step to disarming it. See it for what it is, a cognitive distortion, a funhouse mirror effect created by the darkness and the quiet. The numbers haven't actually changed. The only thing that has changed is the light in which you are viewing them. And alongside this distortion of size, the mind begins a particular kind of dance, a frantic, circular dance of mental math. You know this dance well. It starts with a single figure, a single debt or expense. And then the mind, desperately seeking a feeling of control, begins to calculate. It adds up all the outflows, then all the potential inflows. It subtracts one from the other and arrives at a terrifying deficit. Dissatisfied, it starts again, trying a different combination. What if I could just reduce this? What if I could just add that? Over and over, the same numbers are shuffled, rearranged, and recalculated, as if a different sequence will somehow yield a different result. It is like being locked in a small room with an abacus, frantically sliding the beads back and forth, hoping to find a secret combination that will unlock the door. But the door remains locked because the answer is not in the abacus. The answer is not in another round of frantic, sleep-deprived calculation. This circular math is a symptom of a mind in fight-or-flight mode. It's a mind that believes if it just thinks hard enough, worries hard enough, calculates fast enough, it can solve the problem and finally be safe enough to rest. But it is a trap. The more you engage in the dance, the more entrenched the anxiety becomes, the more real the glowing numbers seem, and the further away sleep gets. The very act of seeking security through this frantic math is what perpetuates the insecurity. Let's recognize this dance for what it is, a pattern, a habit of the worried mind. And tonight, we can choose to gently decline the invitation to dance. When you notice your mind starting up that familiar, frantic rhythm, the adding, the subtracting, the what-ifing, you can silently say to it, "Ah, there's that old dance again. I see you. But I'm not going to join in right now. The dance floor is closed for the night." You are not scolding your mind. You are gently redirecting it, like a kind parent guiding a tired child back to bed. The most profound act of liberation in this moment is the next step, to gently, carefully separate your identity from the numbers on the screen or in your mind. We live in a world that so often equates net worth with self-worth. It is an easy and dangerous equation to internalize. When the balance is low, we feel low. When the debt is high, we feel heavy. We see the numbers as a direct reflection of who we are. But this is the greatest illusion of all. You are not the sum of your digits. You are not your bank balance. You are not your credit score. These things are temporary states, snapshots of a single moment in a long and complex journey. They are data points, not your soul's final transcript. Imagine you are standing on the shore of a vast ocean. The numbers are the waves. Sometimes the tide is high, and the waves are large and crashing, and it feels overwhelming. Sometimes the tide is low, and the shore is exposed and vulnerable. The tides change. The waves come and go. But you are not the waves. You are the shoreline. You are the vast, solid, enduring presence that witnesses the ebb and flow. Your core identity, your inherent worth, is the unchanging ground upon which these temporary financial tides play out. Hold this image in your mind. Feel the solidity of the shore beneath your feet. Feel your own immense and unwavering presence. The numbers can crash and foam, but they cannot move you. They cannot diminish the fundamental truth of who you are. You are the observer of the numbers. You are the witness to the frantic dance of the mind. You are the consciousness that notices the strange alchemy of the night. By taking this position as the observer, you step out of the frame. You are no longer lost in the terrifying painting. You are standing in the quiet gallery, looking at it. This shift in perspective changes everything. The glowing numbers begin to lose their power. They are no longer a monstrous verdict on your life, but simply information. Information that will be dealt with in the clear, sober light of day by a mind that is rested, restored, and ready. For now, your job is simply to be the shoreline, to feel your own solid ground, to breathe, and to let the nocturnal tides of worry recede, knowing that the morning will bring a different light and a different perspective. As we journey deeper into the landscape of this financial fear, past the glowing numbers and the frantic calculations, we often arrive at a place that feels even heavier, more personal. It is a place woven from emotions that are difficult to name and even harder to hold. Here, we find the deep, painful feelings of shame, or the sharp, cold fear of becoming a burden to others. These are not just thoughts. They are felt experiences, sensations that can feel as real and as heavy as a physical weight upon us. We can imagine this weight as a heavy cloak, a garment woven from 1,000 threads of worry, of comparison, of stories we've told ourselves about what we should be, where we should be in life. Each thread is a specific fear. I am failing. I am not providing enough. I am letting people down. They will think less of me. I will lose their respect, their love. I will have to ask for help, and that will make me a burden. Pulled together, these threads form a dark, heavy fabric that we wrap around ourselves, often without even realizing it. In the daylight, we might be able to move around with this cloak on, distracted by the business of the day. But at night, in the stillness, its true weight becomes undeniable. It presses down on our shoulders, constricts our chest, and makes the simple act of resting feel impossible. It smothers our sense of self, muffling the truth of who we are beneath its suffocating folds. The first step in transforming this experience is to see this cloak for what it is. It is not an intrinsic part of you. It is not a reflection of your true nature or your ultimate reality. It is a garment that has been woven, thread by painful thread, from story and from worry. It feels like a fact, but it is a feeling. It feels permanent, but it is a construction. And because it was constructed, it can also be deconstructed. Because it was put on, it can also be taken off. Let's begin this process, not with a struggle, but with simple, gentle awareness. Feel the presence of this cloak right now. Acknowledge its weight without judgment. Notice how it rests on your shoulders, the pressure it exerts. Notice its texture. Is it rough and scratchy against your skin, or is it a cold, heavy velvet? Notice its temperature. Does it make you feel a deep, chilling cold, or a hot, flushing shame? Simply by noticing these qualities, you are beginning to separate from it. You are becoming the observer of the cloak rather than the person completely defined by it. You are creating a small but crucial space between you and the weight of the story it represents. Now, bring your awareness to the front of the cloak, near your throat and heart. Imagine that somewhere here, there is a clasp. This is the mechanism that holds the entire garment in place. It might be a single, ornate button, a series of hooks and eyes, or a simple leather tie. This clasp represents the core belief that holds the shame and the fear of burden in place. It is the linchpin of the entire structure. For a moment, just focus your attention on this clasp. You don't need to analyze it or understand its history. Your only task is to imagine the act of unfastening it. Picture your hand, warm and capable, reaching up to this clasp. Feel the cool metal or the smooth wood under your fingertips. And then, with a slow, deliberate intention, imagine undoing it. Hear the soft click of the mechanism releasing. Feel the subtle shift as the tension across the fabric loosens. The cloak is no longer bound to you. It is still resting on your shoulders, but its hold is broken. This is a moment of profound possibility. With the clasp unfastened, you can now begin to imagine letting the cloak slide from your shoulders. This is not a violent act of throwing it off, but a gentle, graceful release. On your next exhale, feel it begin to move. Feel the heavy fabric slipping down your arms, first from your shoulders, then from your back. It pools on the bed behind you, a dark heap of fabric that is no longer touching you. Feel the immediate sensation of lightness. Feel the air on your skin where the cloak used to be. Feel the release of pressure from your shoulders and chest. Take a breath into this new space. It might feel unfamiliar, even vulnerable, to be without this familiar weight. But it is a vulnerability that is open to peace, to rest. You have not solved the problems of the world. You have not changed the numbers in the ledger. But you have done something far more important for this moment. You have released yourself from the prison of shame. You have unburdened yourself from the story that you are a burden. You have stepped out of the heavy garment of fear. And as you lie here, with the cloak now separate from you, let this understanding settle deep within you. This weight is not permanent. It is a temporary state, a weather pattern passing through your inner world. Shame is a storm cloud, not the whole sky. The fear of being a burden is a winter frost, not an eternal ice age. You may need to take the cloak off again tomorrow night. You may need to unfasten the clasp 100 more times. That is okay. The practice is not about banishing it forever, but about learning that you have the power to take it off. It is about remembering that you are not the cloak. You are the one who wears it, and you are the one who can choose to remove it. Seasons change. Weather patterns shift. The heavy cloak of today's worry can and will be replaced by something else. By practicing this release, you are affirming a deeper truth. Your worth is not conditional. It does not depend on your financial status. It is not determined by whether you need help or not. Your inherent worth is the steady, quiet presence that remains when the cloak has been set aside. It is the warmth of your breath, the steady beat of your heart, the simple, miraculous fact of your being. Rest in that truth now. Rest in the lightness of being unburdened, even if just for this moment. This is your sanctuary. The cloak of shame and burden has no place here. It can wait outside the door of your sleep, and in the morning, you will meet it with a rested spirit, better able to see it for what it is, just a story, just a garment, and not the truth of you. Now that we have set aside the heavy cloak of shame, our inner landscape might feel a little clearer, a little more open. Yet, even in this space, the core problem can still feel immense, monolithic. All the individual worries, the bills, the debts, the lack of income, the uncertainty of the future, tend to merge into a single, overwhelming entity. In the geography of the worried mind, this entity often takes the shape of a vast, impassable mountain. Let's visualize this now. See the entirety of your financial worry as this mountain. It looms before you, its peak shrouded in mist, its slopes made of sheer, jagged rock. There are no clear paths, no gentle ascents. It is a solid wall of overwhelm, a monument to the idea that this problem is too big, too complex, too powerful to ever conquer. When we stand at the foot of this mountain, the only natural response is paralysis. We feel small, helpless, and exhausted before we even begin. The sheer scale of it shuts down our creativity and our courage. Our mind tells us, this is impossible. There is no way forward. You will be stuck here forever. This feeling of being faced with an insurmountable obstacle is one of the most draining aspects of financial anxiety. But tonight, we are going to perform a different kind of alchemy. We are not going to try to climb this mountain. We are not going to try to smash our way through it with force. We are going to witness a quiet, miraculous transformation. This is the core metamorphosis of our journey tonight. We are going to watch as this mountain dissolves. Keep the image of the mountain clear in your mind. See its intimidating size. Feel its oppressive presence. And now, introduce a subtle change. Imagine a gentle vibration starting deep within the mountain's core. It's not a violent earthquake, but a soft, steady hum. With this hum, the solid rock of the mountain begins to lose its integrity. The bonds holding it all together as one single, terrifying mass are beginning to loosen. Cracks appear, not with a crash, but with a quiet sigh. And then, slowly, gracefully, the mountain begins to crumble. It doesn't explode. It simply dissolves. The great, impassable cliffs slide down into scree. The jagged peaks soften and break apart. The entire monolithic structure deconstructs itself, collapsing into a vast, wide field of individual stones. Where the mountain of the problem once stood, there is now a landscape covered in countless small, separate rocks. Take a moment to witness this new scene. The oppressive, vertical weight is gone. The single, overwhelming entity has been transformed into a multitude of manageable pieces. The paralysis begins to fade, replaced by a sense of possibility. The problem is no longer one giant, unsolvable thing. It is now a collection of many small, distinct things. Each stone represents a single part of the whole. One phone call that needs to be made. One bill that needs to be paid. One small expense that can be cut. One conversation that needs to be had. One skill that could be learned. One resume that could be sent. Separately, they are just stones. Together, they formed a mountain. By seeing them as separate, we have reclaimed our power. The problem has not vanished. The stones are still there, but its nature has fundamentally changed. It has been transformed from overwhelming to approachable. Now, let the focus of your awareness narrow even further. Out of this entire field of stones, allow your attention to be drawn to just one. Don't search for the most important one or the biggest one. Just let your gaze settle naturally on a single, ordinary stone. It might be smooth and gray or speckled with quartz. It is small enough to hold in the palm of your hand. This single stone represents the next small, manageable step. Not all the steps, not the entire 10-year plan, just the very next thing. The one action that can be addressed in the light of day. Perhaps this stone is the act of making a budget. Perhaps it is the act of looking up a phone number. Perhaps it is simply the act of asking a trusted friend for advice. It is one thing. It is tangible. It is achievable. Hold this single stone in your mind's eye. Feel its weight, its texture, its temperature. It is real, and it is manageable. The mountain was an abstraction of fear. This stone is a concrete possibility for action. All the energy that was wasted on staring up at the impassable mountain can now be focused with calm precision on this one single stone. This is the antidote to overwhelm. Overwhelm comes from trying to deal with the entire mountain at once. Clarity comes from focusing on one stone at a time. Tonight, you do not need to do anything with this stone. Your only job is to identify it, to separate it from the rubble pile of your anxiety and see it clearly for what it is, the next right thing. Let all the other stones fade into the background. They will be there tomorrow and the day after. They will be dealt with in their own time, one by one. By focusing on just one, you are making a profound statement of trust. You are trusting that you don't need to solve everything right now. You are trusting that small, consistent actions, taken one stone at a time, are what eventually move mountains. The mountain was a story about impossibility. The single stone is a story about agency. The mountain was a prison of anxiety. The single stone is a key, a starting point. As you drift toward sleep, keep this one stone in your awareness. Let it be a point of focus, a calming anchor in the vast sea of what-ifs. You have transformed the overwhelming into the focused. You have dissolved the monolith of fear into a single, tangible step. This is a powerful act of mental discipline and self-compassion. You have given your mind a gift, a clear, calm place to rest its attention. You have found the starting point of the path, and for tonight, that is more than enough. The journey of 1,000 miles begins not with a leap over a mountain, but with the simple, humble act of picking up a single stone. Having dissolved the great mountain of worry into a field of stones, and having focused our attention on just a single one representing the next step, a new kind of space opens up. It is the space between knowing the immediate next step and knowing how all the other steps will unfold. This space can be uncomfortable. The mind, accustomed to wanting a complete map, a detailed 5-year plan with guarantees, can rush in to fill this space with more anxiety. But what about the other stones? What if this one step doesn't work? How will it all get resolved? It is here, in this gap of uncertainty, that we can introduce a gentle and profoundly powerful word. A word that is often dismissed as flimsy or passive, but is in fact an expression of deep and active trust. The word is somehow. Fall asleep, knowing you'll handle the money. Somehow. Let's explore the quiet wisdom of somehow. This is not the somehow of wishful thinking or magical fantasy. It is not about abdication of responsibility, throwing your hands up and hoping a miracle will fall from the sky. It is something far more grounded, far more potent. This, somehow, is a deep and quiet trust in the resources that are not immediately visible to the tired, panicked mind of the night. It is an expression of faith in your own future self, the you that will wake up tomorrow, nourished by sleep, with a mind that is clearer, calmer, and more creative. This, somehow, is a trust in your own resilience. Think of all the challenges you have faced in your life up to this very moment. Think of the obstacles you have overcome, the difficult situations you have navigated, the times you thought you couldn't possibly go on, and yet you did. You found a way. You adapted. You learned. You survived. You are here now, listening to these words as a testament to your own enduring strength. The somehow is a quiet acknowledgement of that proven track record. It is a trust that the same inner resourcefulness that got you through everything in the past is still alive within you, ready to meet the challenges of the present. This somehow is also a trust in the emergence of new information and new opportunities. The mind at 2 a.m. operates with a limited, closed set of data. It sees only the problems as they exist right now, and it assumes that no new variables will ever enter the equation. But life is not a closed system. The world is in constant flux. A new day brings new conversations, new ideas, unexpected emails, unforeseen opportunities. A chance encounter or a forgotten skill can change the entire landscape of a problem. Somehow is the wisdom of leaving room for the unknown. It is the understanding that the map you have tonight is incomplete, and that new paths will be revealed simply by taking the next step and paying attention. It is a trust in the process of discovery. The core transformation here is the release of the need to know all the answers tonight. This is a radical act of self-kindness. The tired mind is a terrible strategist. It is prone to catastrophic thinking and tunnel vision. Forcing it to come up with a comprehensive, fail-proof plan in the middle of the night is like asking a starving, exhausted person to run a marathon. It is cruel and counterproductive. The gentle wisdom of somehow allows you to release this demand. It is the permission slip you give yourself to say, I have identified the next stone. That is enough for tonight. I do not need to know how I will move the 100th stone. I only need to trust that when I get there, I will find a way. Somehow. Feel the release in that. Feel the profound exhale in your body as you let go of the impossible burden of needing to be omniscient, of needing to have perfect foresight. You are replacing the frantic need for a concrete plan with a quiet trust in the unfolding process. You are shifting from a state of anxious control to a state of active, patient faith in your own capacities and in the flow of life itself. And here is a fundamental truth to meditate on as you drift closer to sleep. Solutions arise from a rested mind, not a panicked one. Neuroscientists and psychologists agree. When we are in a state of high anxiety, our prefrontal cortex, the part of our brain responsible for complex problem solving, creativity, and rational thought, goes partially offline. Our thinking becomes rigid, primal, and reactive. We are literally less intelligent when we are panicked. Sleep, on the other hand, is the great restorer of the mind. During deep sleep, the brain is hard at work, clearing out metabolic waste, consolidating memories, and forming new neural connections. It is a process of resetting and renewal. The mind that awakens from this process is fundamentally different from the one that went to bed. It is more flexible, more open to new ideas, more capable of seeing novel solutions to old problems. The phrase "sleep on it" is not just folk wisdom, it is sound neurological advice. So, when you embrace the word somehow, you are not being passive. You are actively choosing the very state that is most conducive to finding the real solutions you seek. You are making the strategic decision to invest in your most valuable problem-solving asset, a well-rested mind. Let the word somehow be a gentle mantra. As your mind begins to drift back towards the mountain, back towards the frantic calculations, just softly introduce this word. Somehow. It is a lullaby for the anxious part of your brain. It is a quiet promise that the work is not abandoned, merely postponed to a more skillful time. It is a bridge of trust, connecting the tired you of tonight with the capable you of tomorrow. You will handle this, somehow. Let that quiet confidence be the current that carries you now, out of the turbulent waters of worry, and into the calm, deep, and restorative ocean of sleep. As we rest in the quiet trust of somehow, another layer of our relationship with this challenge can be gently examined. Often, buried beneath the fear and the shame is a fierce and lonely sense of independence, a belief that we must solve this all on our own, that to ask for help, whether it be financial, emotional, or practical, is to admit defeat. In our culture, self-reliance is so highly prized that we can come to see interdependence as a weakness. The thought of reaching out, of admitting our struggle, can feel more terrifying than the financial problem itself. We see it as a symbol of failure, a final confirmation of our inadequacy. But tonight, in this safe and quiet space, let's begin the transformation of that belief. Let's reframe the concept of asking for help, not as a surrender, but as a courageous act of connection. One of the most primal, instinctual physical responses to fear and stress is to clench our fists. It's a vestige of our fight-or-flight response, the body preparing to strike or to hold on tight. When we are consumed with financial worry, we often do this metaphorically. We clench our fists around our problem, holding it tightly to our chest, hiding it from view. We believe that by holding on with all our might, we are staying in control. But this clenching is exhausting. It cuts off circulation. It isolates us. It creates a small, hard, impenetrable world of solitary struggle. Let's explore this through a gentle visualization. In the darkness of your room, imagine one of your hands is clenched into a tight fist. Don't actually do it. Just feel the sensation in your mind's eye. Feel the tension in the fingers, the pressure of the nails digging into the palm, the tautness of the knuckles. This fist represents the story of I must do this alone. It represents the shame that prevents connection, the pride that keeps us isolated. It is a symbol of holding on, of struggle, of a lonely battle waged in silence. Now, let's begin a slow, conscious transformation. Imagine, with exquisite slowness, the process of opening this hand. It might feel stiff at first, resistant to change. The muscles have been held in this position for a long time. So be gentle. Start with the thumb, letting it lift away from the fingers. Then, one by one, allow each finger to uncurl. The index finger, the middle finger, the ring finger, and finally the little finger. Feel the release of tension with each micro movement. Feel the air touching the palm for the first time. The hand is now open. This open hand is a powerful symbol. It is a posture of receiving. It is a gesture of release. It is an expression of willingness. It does not mean you are weak or helpless. On the contrary, it signifies a profound strength, the courage to be vulnerable, the wisdom to recognize that we are not meant to navigate life's greatest challenges in isolation. An open hand can receive a tool. It can accept a comforting touch. It can take hold of another hand that is offered in support. By choosing to open the hand, you are not giving up your power. You are expanding your access to power. You are moving from the limited resources of your own clenched fist to the vast, interconnected resources of the world around you. This simple act, the metamorphosis from a closed fist to an open hand, symbolizes a willingness to receive, to connect, and to be supported. It is a declaration that you are ready to let something new in. A new perspective, a piece of advice, a helpful resource, a moment of compassion. You are signaling to yourself and to the universe that you are open. And it is in this openness that solutions we could never have conceived of on our own can begin to appear. Now, let's reflect on the strength that is found in interdependence. Look to the natural world, our greatest teacher. A single, giant redwood tree standing alone in a field is magnificent, but it is also vulnerable. A strong wind can topple it. A drought can kill it. But a forest of redwoods is a different entity entirely. They are a community. Beneath the soil, their roots are not separate. They are entwined in a vast, complex network. The roots of one tree connect to the roots of its neighbors, and those neighbors connect to others, forming a massive subterranean web of support. Through this network, they share resources. A tree that is getting more sunlight and can produce more sugar can share its excess with a smaller tree living in its shade. A tree that has tapped into a deep source of water can share it with its drier neighbors during a drought. The forest thrives, not because each tree is a fortress of self-reliance, but because they are a deeply interconnected system of mutual support. The strength of the forest is in its interdependence. The entwined roots hold each other up against the storm. This is the true model of strength. Human beings are no different. We are social creatures, wired for connection. Our greatest achievements and our deepest moments of healing happen in community. To believe we must face our financial mountains alone is to deny our fundamental nature. It is like a single tree deciding to disconnect its roots from the forest network. It is an act that weakens, not strengthens. The courage to open the hand, to reach out, is the human equivalent of a tree sending its roots out to connect with its neighbors. It is an act of profound wisdom and strength. It is acknowledging that the burden is lighter when it is shared, that the path is clearer when it is illuminated by more than one light. As you lie here, resting, feel the truth of this. You are not an isolated entity. You are part of a vast, interconnected human forest. There are roots all around you. Friends, family, colleagues, community organizations, even strangers who have shared their stories online. The act of reaching out is not a failure. It is the activation of your own network, your own root system. For tonight, you don't have to reach out. You only have to practice opening the hand. Let go of the clenching. Let go of the lonely struggle. And rest in the powerful, comforting truth that you are part of a forest, and that true strength is found not in isolation, but in connection. We have been exploring the mind's tendency to perform a frantic, nocturnal accounting, the adding and subtracting of figures that glow in the dark. This form of calculation, as we've discovered, only deepens our anxiety, locking us into a state of perceived deficit and lack. The numbers on this ledger always seem to tell a story of not enough. But what if we could shift the very act of counting itself? What if we could move it from the anxious mind to the wise body? What if we could use a different kind of abacus, one that is always with us, perfectly balanced, and always rooted in the present moment? This abacus is your breath. For the next few moments, let's engage in a new form of accounting, one that has the power to transform your entire state of being. Let go of the numbers of money and bring all of your gentle, focused attention to the numbers of your breath. There is nothing to force, nothing to control. Simply observe. Let's begin with the inhale. Each time you breathe in, you are performing an act of receiving. Air, rich with life-giving oxygen, is drawn into your body, a free and unconditional gift from the world around you. This is an act of abundance happening right now. Without any effort on your part, you are being provided for. You are being sustained. So, let's count this as an asset. Let each inhale be a silent acknowledgement of abundance. The breath comes in, and you can think of it as receiving. It is a deposit into the account of your vitality. Feel the sensation of your lungs gently expanding, your chest and belly rising. This is the physical evidence of your wealth in this moment. You are rich in breath. You have exactly what you need. Each inhale is a reminder that you are part of a generous system, a world that is constantly offering you the very essence of life. Let this simple, profound truth begin to settle into your cells. You are not in a state of deficit. In this most fundamental way, you are in a state of surplus. Now, let's turn our attention to the exhale. Each time you breathe out, you are performing an act of release. You are letting go of what is no longer needed. The carbon dioxide, the waste products of your body's perfect metabolic processes. This is a natural, effortless letting go. It is a cleansing, a release of the unnecessary to make space for the necessary. Let this be your new form of accounting for debts and burdens. Each exhale is an act of releasing what you do not need to carry. As the air leaves your body, imagine it is taking with it a small measure of the tension in your shoulders. With the next exhale, imagine it is carrying away a fraction of the tightness in your stomach. With the one after that, imagine it is releasing the frantic, circular thoughts from your mind. You are letting go of the burdens, one breath at a time. The exhale is a physical enactment of surrender. It is the body's wisdom, showing the mind how to release its grip. Inhale, abundance. Exhale, release. Inhale, receiving. Exhale, letting go. This new form of accounting begins to fundamentally transform the body's experience. The old accounting, the one of money and fear, activates the sympathetic nervous system. It sends signals of scarcity and danger, creating tension, raising the heart rate, and preparing the body for a fight that never comes. It is an accounting system that leads to a state of depletion and exhaustion. But this new accounting, the abacus of the breath, does the opposite. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's rest and digest mode. The slow, rhythmic focus on the breath is a direct signal to your primal brain that you are safe. There is no threat here. There is only the gentle inflow of abundance and the soft outflow of release. The heart rate begins to slow. The blood pressure lowers. The muscles soften. The body is transformed from a state of deficit and lack to one of quiet, rhythmic sufficiency. You are moving from a perceived bankruptcy of resources to the felt reality of your own intrinsic biological wealth. In this moment, the simple, steady rhythm of the breath becomes the only calculation that matters. The mind might try to pull you back to the old ledger. A number might flash in your awareness. A worry might surface. That's okay. That's what minds do. When it happens, don't fight it. Simply acknowledge it, and then gently guide your attention back to the new abacus, back to the feeling of the air entering your nostrils, back to the rise and fall of your chest. The breath is your anchor in the present moment, and the present moment is the only place where true peace can be found. The numbers of money belong to the past, what has been spent, and the future, what is owed. They are ghosts and projections, but the breath is always now. It is real. It is physical. It is your connection to life itself. Let the rhythm become a lullaby, in and out, receiving and releasing, abundance and surrender. This is the true economy of your being. It is an economy that is always in balance. You never take in more than you need, and you never hold on to what you must release. It is a system of perfect, effortless wisdom. Let this be the last calculation you perform tonight. Count your breaths. Count the quiet richness of being alive. Count the gentle release of your worries on each exhale. This is the accounting that leads not to anxiety, but to deep, restorative peace. You are not bankrupt. You are breathing. And that, in this quiet and sacred moment, is more than enough. As we lie here, anchored by the gentle rhythm of the breath, let's allow our imagination to drift out into the natural world once more, seeking its quiet, steady wisdom. We have been holding this feeling of being stuck, of being faced with an impassable mountain. It's a feeling of being blocked, trapped, with no clear path forward. Our instinct in this situation is often to fight, to push against the obstacle with all our might, an approach that usually leads only to exhaustion and despair. But nature offers a different model of resourcefulness, a more elegant and effective way of navigating obstacles. Consider a river. A river is born as a small trickle of meltwater high in the mountains, and it has a single, simple intention: to find its way to the sea. Along its path, it will encounter countless obstacles. It will meet walls of hard granite, massive boulders, and entire mountain ranges that stand directly in its way. Now, what does the river do when it comes to a mountain? It does not try to smash through it. It does not gather its force and try to knock the mountain down. That would be a futile and exhausting battle. The river does not see the mountain as an enemy to be conquered. It simply sees it as a fact of the landscape. And so, the river yields. It flows. With infinite patience, it finds the path of least resistance. It may turn north or south, seeking a lower valley. It will slip through small cracks and crevices, its water dividing and rejoining. It uses the power of gravity, the pull of its own destination, to guide its course. It is not fighting the mountain. It is in a dance with it. And over vast stretches of time, the river's persistence does something miraculous. That gentle, yielding flow, that constant, patient movement, begins to carve its way through the very stone that blocked its path. The Grand Canyon is not a testament to the explosive power of a single flood, but to the quiet, relentless persistence of a river that simply kept flowing, one drop at a time, for millions of years. The river's strength is not in its force, but in its flow. Its power is not in confrontation, but in its flexibility and its unwavering commitment to its journey. Let this powerful metaphor seep into your consciousness. Let's connect this natural wisdom to your own journey. The financial mountain in your path can feel just as solid and immovable as a wall of granite. The temptation is to brace yourself and push against it, to meet its hardness with your own. But what if, like the river, you could soften? What if you could stop pushing and start flowing? This doesn't mean giving up. The river never gives up on its journey to the sea. It means changing your strategy from one of force to one of intelligent, persistent movement. To flow means to stay curious. To ask, is there another way around this? It means being willing to explore different paths, even ones that seem like detours. It means accepting the reality of the obstacle in front of you without letting it define you or defeat you. It means trusting that even the smallest movement, the slightest shift in direction, is still progress. One small movement at a time. The river doesn't carve a canyon in a day. It does so through the accumulated effect of countless tiny actions. Your journey is the same. It is the one phone call, the one email, the 1 hour of research, the one small expense saved. Each of these actions is like a single drop of water, seemingly insignificant on its own. But together, over time, they have the power to carve a new path. They have the power to wear down the most intimidating obstacles. The core metamorphosis here is the transformation of the feeling of being stuck into the feeling of being in flow. These two states can look very similar from the outside. In both, you might not be making dramatic, visible progress, but internally, they are worlds apart. Being stuck is a state of rigid, anxious paralysis. It is the feeling of pushing against a locked door. You are expending enormous energy and getting nowhere, and the entire experience is one of frustration and fear. Being in flow, on the other hand, is a state of patient, dynamic stillness. It is like the river pooling behind a dam. The water may not be rushing forward, but it is not stagnant. It is gathering its potential, feeling for the smallest crack, waiting for the moment when it can continue its journey. Even when the flow is slow and gentle, almost imperceptible, there is still a sense of direction, a quiet trust in the process. There is no wasted energy, no frantic struggle. There is only a patient, persistent moving with what is. As you rest here tonight, invite this feeling of flow into your body. Imagine that the tension within you is the rigidity of trying to push through the mountain. On your next exhale, let that rigidity soften. Imagine your body becoming like water, able to yield, to adapt, to find the path of least resistance. Let go of the need to have the entire path mapped out. Just like the river, all you need to know is the general direction, towards the sea, towards a place of greater ease and security. And all you need to do is focus on the next small movement, the next gentle turn. You do not have to fight this battle with brute force. You can embody the wisdom of water. You can be soft, and you can be persistent. You can be patient, and you can be powerful. Trust that you too will find your way around the obstacles in your path. It may not be a straight line. It may involve twists and turns you cannot yet predict. But as long as you keep flowing, as long as you keep making those small, consistent movements, you are on your way. You are carving your own canyon. You are finding your way home. Rest in that feeling. Rest in the knowledge that you have within you the same yielding strength, the same persistent wisdom as the river. You are not stuck. You are in flow. As we deepen our connection to the wisdom of the natural world, resting in the fluid metaphor of the river, we can zoom out even further and observe a rhythm that governs all of existence. It is the universal pulse of ebb and flow, of expansion and contraction. When we are caught in a moment of financial scarcity, it can feel intensely personal, permanent, and isolating. It feels like a unique failure, a problem that belongs only to us. Our mind frames it as a static state of lack, a condition from which we may never escape. This perspective is a breeding ground for panic and shame. But if we lift our gaze from our own immediate situation and look at the world around us, we see that nothing in nature exists in a permanent state of peak abundance. Everything, absolutely everything, moves in cycles. Consider the seasons, the most obvious and profound example of this rhythm. A tree in summer is a picture of lush abundance. It is covered in green leaves, photosynthesizing at its peak, producing fruit or seeds. It is in its expansive, productive phase. But this is only one part of its story. In autumn, it enters a phase of release. It lets go of its leaves, drawing its energy inward, conserving its resources. In winter, it enters a state of deep dormancy. To an uninformed observer, the bare, leafless tree might look dead or broken. It appears to be in a state of profound lack. But this is not a failure. It is a necessary and brilliant strategy for survival. This period of rest, of seeming scarcity, is what allows the tree to gather the strength to burst forth with new life in the spring. The winter is not the end of the story. It is a vital chapter in the cycle. The tides offer another perfect illustration. Twice a day, the ocean pulls away from the shore, revealing the bare sand and the creatures of the intertidal zone. This is the ebb, the low tide. The harbor may become too shallow for boats. The vastness of the water recedes, and then, just as reliably, the flow returns. The water rises, covering the shore once more in its fullness. No one stands at the shore during low tide and panics, believing the ocean is gone forever. We understand this is a natural, predictable rhythm. We know the water will return. We trust the cycle. Look to the moon in the night sky. It waxes from a sliver of newness to a brilliant, luminous full moon, a symbol of fullness and completion. But it doesn't stay there. It then begins to wane, to diminish, letting its light go until it disappears into the darkness of the new moon, a time of quiet and invisibility before its cycle of growth begins once again. The darkness is not a failure of the moon. It is a necessary part of its journey. Abundance, release, scarcity, renewal. This is the fundamental rhythm of life. It is in the beat of our own hearts, the expansion of systole, the release of diastole. It is in the rhythm of our own breath, as we have already explored, the inflow and the outflow. Now, let's gently reframe our personal financial states within this universal context. What if the period of financial tightness you are experiencing is not a personal failure, but simply a season? What if it is your personal winter? A time not of failure, but of necessary dormancy, of conserving energy, of drawing inward to gather strength for the spring that will inevitably come. What if this is simply your low tide, a natural pulling back of resources that will, in time, be followed by a return of the flow? This perspective shift is transformative. It begins to lift the intense, heavy cloak of personal judgment. If your struggle is part of a natural cycle, it is no longer a source of shame. A tree feels no shame in winter. The ocean does not apologize for its low tide. They are simply being what they are in the season they are in. By seeing our own lives as part of this larger rhythm, we can begin to offer ourselves the same grace. We can replace panic with patience. Panic comes from the belief that this state is permanent. The ocean is gone and will never come back. Patience is born from the wisdom of cycles. This is low tide. It is a time for walking the exposed shore, for seeing what is revealed. The high tide will return. This does not mean we become passive or do nothing. The tree in winter is not dead. It is intensely alive, performing the vital, quiet work of survival and preparation. We too, in our financial winters, can do the quiet, vital work. We can rest. We can learn. We can plan. We can pick up that one single stone. But we do it from a place of patience and trust in the cycles, not from a place of frantic fear that the winter will last forever. Embracing this perspective can soften the harsh edges of our anxiety. It helps us to hold our current situation a little more lightly. It is a season. It is a tide. It is a phase of the moon. And like all these things, it will change. This is the law of the universe. Nothing remains static. The cycle will turn. Spring will follow winter. The flow will follow the ebb. The light will return after the darkness. As you settle into a deeper state of relaxation, feel yourself as part of this vast, universal dance. Feel your own small rhythm of breath and heartbeat aligning with the grand rhythm of the seasons and the tides. You are not a broken machine that needs fixing. You are a natural being, living through a natural cycle. Allow yourself the grace of your own winter. Trust in the quiet, work happening within you, even when there is no outward sign of growth. And know, with a deep and unshakable certainty, that your season of renewal will come. It is not a matter of hope. It is a matter of natural law. As we rest within this larger understanding of natural cycles, feeling the rhythm of the universe pulsing within our own breath, we can turn our attention to one of the most painful aspects of financial worry, the profound sense of isolation it creates. Shame, as we've explored, thrives in silence and secrecy. It builds walls around us, convincing us that we are the only one, that our struggle is a unique and solitary failure. The mind whispers, everyone else has it figured out. Everyone else is managing, it's just you. This feeling of being alone in the struggle is a heavy burden on top of an already heavy load. It amplifies the fear and makes the mountain seem even more insurmountable. But tonight, in the quiet sanctuary of this moment, we are going to dissolve those walls. We are going to perform a gentle alchemy that transforms the cold stone of isolation into the warm, flowing current of connection. Let's begin with a simple act of imagination. As you lie here, breathing in the stillness of your room, become aware of the quiet, invisible presence of humanity all around you. Think beyond the walls of your home, beyond the boundaries of your neighborhood, and out across the sleeping continents of the world. At this very moment, as you are feeling this specific worry, you are not alone, not even close. In this exact sliver of time, there are countless others, millions upon millions of people lying awake in the dark, feeling a version of this very same fear. A farmer in a distant land, worrying about the harvest. A young parent in a bustling city, worrying about the cost of raising a child. An artist in a small town, worrying about selling their next piece. An elderly person on a fixed income, worrying about a medical bill. A student worrying about their loans. A business owner worrying about making payroll. The details are different, but the core feeling, that cold knot of financial anxiety, that fear of not enough is a deeply, fundamentally shared human experience. It is a current that runs through the very heart of our collective story. Now, let's go a step further. Feel yourself connecting to this quiet, invisible current. Imagine a soft, ethereal thread extending from your heart, traveling out into the night, and gently connecting with the heart of one of those other warriors. And then another thread, and another. Imagine this vast, luminous network of connection forming across the globe, a web of shared, silent understanding. You are a single point of light in a vast constellation of hearts, all pulsing with this same vulnerable human feeling. Breathe with them. As you inhale, know that millions of others are inhaling with you, drawing in a breath of hope or a sigh of exhaustion. As you exhale, know that millions are exhaling with you, releasing a wave of worry into the night. Your breath is no longer just your own. It is part of a great, silent chorus. The feeling of isolation begins to transform into one of profound, unspoken communion. The shame that told you you are the only one is revealed to be a liar. You are not an anomaly. You are a member. You have simply forgotten your place in the vast tribe of human beings who have, since the dawn of time, worried about tomorrow. Think back through history. Every person who has ever lived, every king and every peasant, every builder of pyramids and every sailor of seas, has known this fear in some form. They have worried about the hunt, the harvest, the trade, the tide. This feeling is not a sign of your personal failure. It is a sign of your membership in the human family. It is an ancestral echo, a part of our shared DNA. By feeling this connection, you are not amplifying the worry. You are doing the opposite. You are distributing its weight. Imagine your burden, which felt so solid and personal, becoming less dense. Imagine it dissolving like a spoonful of salt into the vast ocean of shared human experience. The salt is still there, but it is no longer a concentrated, painful crystal. It is now part of something immense, its sharp edges softened by the sheer volume of the water. The burden feels lighter when you realize you are not carrying it alone. The weight on your shoulders is the same weight that has been carried by countless others before you, and is being carried by countless others alongside you right now. You are part of a great, historical procession. And just as they found their way through, somehow, you will find your way through, somehow. This connection is not just about shared struggle. It is also about shared resilience. Within that vast, invisible network of hearts are not just worries, but also courage, creativity, and an unbreakable will to endure. By connecting to the current of shared fear, you are also tapping into the deep reservoir of shared strength that has allowed humanity to survive and thrive for millennia. You are breathing in not just your own small store of courage, but the collective courage of all who have ever faced the dawn after a long, dark night of worry. This is not a thought exercise. It is an invitation to a felt sense of belonging. Let the feeling of it settle into your body. Feel the walls of your solitary confinement become permeable, then transparent, then dissolve completely. You are not an island. You are a part of the main. Your quiet struggle in the dark is a sacred rite, a shared vigil that connects you more deeply to your fellow human beings than you can possibly imagine. Rest in this feeling of communion. Let it be a blanket of warmth against the cold of fear. You are held, not in judgment, but in the silent, compassionate understanding of millions. The farmer, the parent, the artist, the elder, they are all breathing with you. You are not alone in this. You have never been alone in this. You are simply, profoundly, beautifully human. Having felt our connection to the shared human current, realizing we are not alone in our worries, we can now gently turn our focus inward once more. We have spent so much of this journey examining the nature of financial lack, exploring the ledger of what is owed and what is missing. This focus, while necessary to understand, can keep us locked in a mindset of scarcity. Now, in this deepening state of peace, we are ready for a contemplative shift. We are ready to turn our attention away from the accounting of money and toward the accounting of a deeper, more fundamental kind of wealth, the inner resources that are always unconditionally available to you, regardless of the numbers in your bank account. This is not an exercise in pretending your financial challenges don't exist. It is not a distraction or a form of toxic positivity. It is a deliberate practice of remembering the whole truth of your situation. The financial ledger is only one page in the great book of your life. Tonight, we are going to read from some of the other pages, the ones that speak of your inherent, untouchable riches. Let's begin by counting these blessings, not as a fleeting list, but as a deep, felt sense of your own inner resources. Start with the most immediate and intimate treasure you possess, the richness of your own breath. We have touched on this before, but let's feel it now from this new perspective of wealth. Each breath you take is a unit of life force, a coin of pure vitality minted just for you in this moment. You have an infinite supply for as long as you are here. Feel the sheer luxury of it. The cool air entering your nostrils, filling your lungs, nourishing every single one of the trillions of cells in your body. This is not a small thing. It is the very foundation of your existence. You are, in this very moment, profoundly wealthy in the currency of life itself. Acknowledge this wealth. Feel its presence. Silently say, I am rich in breath. Now, bring your awareness to the feeling of your body resting. Notice the safety of your bed. Feel the softness of the pillow beneath your head, the warmth of the blankets covering you. This is the wealth of shelter, of sanctuary. In this moment, you are protected from the elements. You are in a safe harbor, a quiet haven where your body can rest and restore itself. This safety is a form of wealth. It is a resource that allows for the possibility of renewal. Think of the millions of your human ancestors who did not know this level of consistent physical safety at night. Appreciate the profound gift of this simple, quiet security. Let the feeling of it sink in. I am rich in safety. Now, turn your attention to the strength in your own heart. Not just the physical muscle, but the resilient, courageous center of your being. This heart has loved, it has grieved, it has known joy, and it has endured pain. It has been broken, and it has mended itself. It is still here, beating steadily in your chest, a testament to your incredible capacity to feel, to connect, and to survive. This emotional resilience is a form of deep inner gold. It is a treasure that cannot be bought or sold, and it can never be taken from you. It is the wellspring of your character, your compassion, your strength. Honor it. Feel the steady, quiet power residing in the center of your chest. I am rich in heart. Let's continue this gentle accounting. Think of the wealth of your senses, the ability of your ears to hear the quiet hum of the night, or the sound of a loved one's voice, the ability of your skin to feel the texture of your blankets, the memory of your eyes seeing a beautiful sunset, or your tongue tasting a delicious meal. These are streams of richness pouring into your experience constantly. We so often take them for granted, but they are the channels through which the beauty and wonder of the world become known to you. I am rich in senses. Think of the wealth of your mind, your ability to think, to learn, to imagine, your capacity to remember a happy moment from your childhood, your creativity, which allows you to dream up new possibilities. Even in its worried state, your mind is a palace of immense and complex treasures. It holds your knowledge, your skills, your memories, your dreams. This is an incalculable fortune. I am rich in mind. The purpose of this practice is the metamorphosis of perspective. It is a gentle but powerful shift from feeling impoverished to feeling deeply, fundamentally resourced within yourself. When we are fixated on the single metric of money, we can feel utterly bankrupt. But when we expand our definition of wealth to include these other, more essential currencies, we realize the truth. We are multimillionaires in the things that truly matter. Our portfolio of inner resources is vast and diverse. This realization doesn't magically pay the bills, but it does something equally important. It changes the emotional and psychological ground on which you stand. You are no longer facing your challenges from a position of desperate lack, but from a position of deep, inherent resourcefulness. You remember that your financial situation is a circumstance, not the entirety of your identity. Your true worth, your real wealth, resides in a place that no market fluctuation or unexpected expense can ever touch. So, as you drift now, let this new ledger be the last thing your mind holds. Let the counting of your blessings be the lullaby that sings you to sleep. Count the steady rhythm of your breath. Count the beats of your resilient heart. Count the feeling of safety in your warm bed. Let the feeling of your true, untouchable wealth be the final reality of your day. You are not defined by what you lack. You are defined by the incredible abundance that is already present, right here, right now, within the quiet miracle of you. Rest in that deep and peaceful truth. You are wealthy beyond measure. We have journeyed far tonight. We have closed the ledger of the mind, named the shape of our fear, and watched the mountain of overwhelm dissolve into a single, manageable stone. We have rested in the wisdom of somehow, practiced the courage of an open hand, and felt our connection to the great rhythms of nature and humanity. We have remembered the deep, untouchable wealth that resides within us. The storm of anxious thought has passed, and the waters of the mind are becoming still. Now, as we prepare to cross the final threshold into sleep, it is time for one last, gentle act of release. It is time to create a sacred boundary, to ensure that the sanctuary of your sleep remains peaceful and undisturbed. The worries, though we have changed our relationship with them, still have a lingering energy. The numbers, the fears, the what-ifs, they may be quiet now, but they are still present in the room of your mind. So let us perform a simple, loving ritual to lay them down to rest for the night. This is a guided visualization, so allow your mind to be soft and receptive. Let the images arise gently, without any effort. Imagine, in the space before you, all the concerns we have discussed tonight beginning to gather. See the glowing numbers from the dark, the image of the heavy cloak of shame, the field of stones that was once a mountain, the single stone you identified as your next step. See the questions, the doubts, the fears about the future. Don't resist them. Don't push them away. Simply allow them to collect as if drawn by a gentle gravity into a single coherent form. As they come together, notice that they are losing their sharp edges, their menacing quality. They are coalescing not into a monster, but into a soft, ethereal bundle. Imagine this bundle wrapped in a cloth of moonlight, shimmering with a gentle, neutral light. It has weight, but it is not an oppressive weight. It is simply the weight of what is. It contains all the tasks for tomorrow, all the challenges to be met, all the problems to be solved. It is the stuff of your current life situation, gathered together in one place. Hold this image of the soft, luminous bundle in your mind's eye. Now, with a feeling of great tenderness and respect, not resentment or anger, imagine yourself reaching out and picking it up. Feel its texture, its temperature. It is your bundle to carry, and you hold it for a moment with a sense of gentle acknowledgement. You are not its enemy. It is not your enemy. It is simply the work that is yours to do in this season of your life. Now, in your imagination, rise from your bed and walk slowly toward the door of your bedroom. Your movements are calm and deliberate. The bundle is secure in your arms. As you reach the door, you open it and you look out into the hallway or the space beyond your room. This space outside your room represents the coming day. It represents the world of action, of planning, of doing. That is where this bundle belongs. Very gently, and with a deep sense of loving care, place the bundle down on the floor, just outside the threshold of your door. You are not throwing it away. You are not abandoning your responsibilities. You are simply setting it down for the night. You are placing it where it can be picked up again in the morning when you are rested and ready. As you place it down, you might say a silent word to it. Something like, "Rest here for now. I will tend to you in the morning light. This room, for tonight, is for peace." Now, gently close the door. Hear the soft click of the latch. This sound is a seal. It is the creation of a sacred boundary. On one side of the door is the bundle of worldly cares. On this side of the door, in your room, is a sanctuary of deep rest. The worries are safe. They will not be lost. They will be there for you tomorrow if you need them. But for tonight, they have no place in your bedroom. They have no place in your mind. They have no place in your body. Feel the immediate shift in the energy of the room. Feel the immediate lightness in your own being. The space around you feels clearer, cleaner. Your mind feels more spacious. Your body feels lighter, as if a tangible weight has been lifted from your chest and shoulders. You have created a clear and loving boundary between the work of the day and the rest of the night. This is one of the most vital acts of self-care you can perform. It is the understanding that rest is not a luxury. It is a non-negotiable part of the work itself. Without this sacred, protected time to restore, you will not have the energy or clarity to pick up that bundle tomorrow and carry it effectively. So settle back into your bed now, into this newly sanctified space. The air is pure. The silence is profound. There is nothing here that needs to be solved. There are no numbers that need to be calculated. There are no problems that require your attention. Your only task now is to inhabit this peace, to let this feeling of lightness and safety permeate every cell of your being. You have gathered your worries. Acknowledge them with respect and lovingly set them aside. The boundary is set. Your sanctuary is secure. You have done everything you need to do for today. And now you are free. Free to let go. Free to surrender. Free to fall into the deep, healing, and well-deserved peace of the night. With a bundle of worries resting peacefully outside the door, the atmosphere within your room has changed. The transformation is nearly complete. The space of your mind, once a turbulent sea of anxious thoughts and calculations, is now becoming a quiet harbor. The storm has passed, the winds have died down, and the great waves of fear have subsided into a gentle, glassy swell. The water is calm, deep, and still, reflecting the quiet moonlight of your own awareness. In this quiet harbor, your body is a boat that has finally come to rest after a long and arduous voyage. Throughout the day, and even into the beginning of this night, it was tossed by the waves of stress. The sails were torn by winds of panic. The rigging was strained with tension. But now, the sails have been furled, the lines have been coiled, and the great, heavy anchor has been dropped. That anchor is your breath, and it has found purchase in the deep, solid ground of the present moment. Feel this in your body now. Feel the stillness. Feel the sense of being safely moored. There is no longer any need to struggle against the waves. There is no need to fight the currents. The journey for today is over. You have arrived. Let the sensation of being safely anchored deepen with each slow, drowsy breath you take. The breath is now the gentle rocking of the boat in the harbor. It is a slow, rhythmic, predictable motion that speaks of nothing but safety and peace. With each long, slow inhale, feel the boat of your body rising ever so slightly on a gentle swell of calm. And with each even longer, slower exhale, feel it settling back down, deeper into stillness, deeper into rest. This gentle, rocking rhythm is a lullaby for your nervous system. It is the oldest and most comforting motion we know, the rhythm of being held safely in the womb, the rhythm of being rocked to sleep as a child. It is a primal signal to every cell in your body that all is well. You are safe. You are held. You can let go. Notice the quality of your thoughts now. They are no longer the sharp, insistent thoughts of the worried mind. They are becoming softer, more diffuse, like clouds drifting lazily across the harbor sky. You might see them, but they are distant, and they require no action, no engagement. They drift by, and you simply watch them go from the safe deck of your boat. There is a growing space between the thoughts, a quiet, peaceful emptiness that is the true nature of the restful mind. Allow yourself to sink into that space. It is a vast, peaceful expanse. It is the stillness of the deep water beneath the boat. The transformation we have been cultivating all throughout this journey is now settling deep into the cells of your body. The journey from fear to safety is completing its final leg. The tension that lived in your jaw, your shoulders, your stomach, it has been released. The frantic energy of circular calculation has been replaced by the slow, steady rhythm of your breath. The feeling of overwhelm has been replaced by the focused calm of the single stone. The feeling of isolation has been replaced by a sense of deep connection. The feeling of lack has been replaced by the felt sense of your own intrinsic wealth. The feeling of being stuck has been replaced by the gentle wisdom of the flow. And now, all of these transformations are coalescing into one final, simple state, the state of profound safety. Let that word, safety, echo in your mind. Feel it as a physical sensation. It is the warmth of your blankets. It is the solidness of the mattress beneath you. It is the slow, steady beat of your own heart. It is the absolute certainty that in this moment, in this harbor, nothing is required of you but to rest. This is the great gift you have given yourself tonight. You have navigated the stormy seas of your own anxiety and brought yourself skillfully and gently back to this quiet shore. You have been your own wise captain, your own steady navigator. As you drift on these gentle, sleepy waves, you are being lulled ever closer to the shore of sleep itself. The boundary between wakefulness and dream is becoming thin, translucent. You can feel the gentle, gravitational pull of that other world, a world of deep restoration and quiet magic. Don't try to swim to that shore. Don't make any effort at all. Your only task is to allow the gentle current of your own fatigue, the gentle rocking of your own breath, to carry you there. The boat of your body will find its own way. It knows the passage to the land of sleep intimately. It has made this journey thousands of times before. All you need to do is trust it. Let go of the tiller. Let go of the oars. Lie back on the deck and look up at the peaceful, starry sky of your own inner awareness, and simply allow yourself to be carried home. The harbor is safe. The anchor is holding. The waters are calm. The journey from fear to safety is complete for today. All is well. As the boat of your being drifts gently upon the calm waters of the harbor, you arrive at the edge of sleep's quiet continent. Here, at this final threshold, we can understand sleep not merely as an escape from the day's worries, but as its own profound and necessary metamorphosis. It is not an ending, but a continuation of the transformative process we began hours ago, a journey into the deepest alchemy of restoration. The conscious work is now done. The ledgers have been closed, the cloaks removed, the mountains dissolved. You have skillfully navigated your inner world from a state of anxious contraction to one of quiet, open peace. Now, you are handing the work over to a deeper, more ancient wisdom, the wisdom of the sleeping body and the dreaming mind. This is the ultimate act of trust. It is the release of all effort, the surrender of the conscious doer, allowing the innate, intelligent processes of your being to take over. Imagine this surrender as a final, gentle letting go. It is the feeling of a leaf detaching from a branch in autumn, not with a struggle, but with a quiet sigh of release, trusting the air to carry it down to the nurturing earth. It is the feeling of a drop of rain rejoining the ocean, letting go of its separate identity to become part of something vast, deep, and whole. Feel this natural, gravitational pull of sleep now. It is not something you must strive for. It is an invitation, a current of weariness and peace, gently tugging you away from the shore of wakefulness. Your only task is to accept the invitation, to stop paddling, to let the current take you. This surrender is, in itself, a resource you are giving yourself. In a world that constantly demands effort, striving, and control, the deliberate choice to let go is a radical act of self-care. It is the recognition that some of life's most essential work, healing, integration, restoration, can only happen when we get out of our own way. And as you drift, know that the transformation continues, even and especially in the darkness. The seeds of trust that we have planted tonight, the trust in somehow, the trust in cycles, the trust in connection, the trust in your own resilience, will be nurtured in the fertile soil of your sleep. The sleeping brain is not idle. It is a silent, diligent gardener. It will prune away the day's trivial anxieties, water the deep roots of insight, and allow new, unseen connections to sprout. You may awaken in the morning with a new perspective, a novel solution to an old problem, or simply a renewed sense of strength that you cannot logically explain. This is the quiet miracle of sleep. It is the work that happens when the worrier is at rest. It is the wisdom that emerges from the stillness. The problems and challenges represented by that bundle outside your door will still be there in the morning. This journey was not about making them magically disappear. It was about transforming you, the one who will meet them. You will not be the same person who began this meditation. You will meet the morning not from a place of exhaustion and depletion, but from a place of restoration and quiet strength. You will pick up the bundle not with a feeling of dread, but with the calm focus of one who knows how to distinguish the mountain from the single stone. You will face the numbers not with panic, but with the patient wisdom of one who understands the natural ebb and flow of life. This is the true gift of this practice. The world may not have changed overnight, but you will have. And that changes everything. So let go now, completely. Release the last lingering thread of conscious thought. Surrender to the deep, dark, healing mystery of sleep. Trust in its restorative power. Trust that even in stillness, you are being remade. Trust that rest is not emptiness, but a profound and generative fullness. You have done enough. You are enough. Let the darkness be your cradle, and let the silence be your song. Fall asleep, knowing that you will handle the money and all of life somehow, because you are allowing yourself the grace and the wisdom of deep, profound, and transformative rest.